Hello everybody, Brian Hussar here. Welcome to my channel as always, where I talk about the Beatles, music, movies, and musical theater. Let me just get right to it. You remember back in the summer I did a video, an unedited video about 2001 A Space Odyssey and the controversy that was happening, my experience of going to see the unrestored edition in the movie theater, the fact that I've never seen 2001 in the movie theater projected in 70mm, it was a great experience. But there were issues I had concerning the idea of it being unrestored and Christopher Nolan's involvement and a lot of doublespeak happening with Warner Brothers and putting out press releases stating Christopher Nolan's involvement in the 4K, but yet we're hearing interviews with Kubrick's longtime assistant, Leon Vitali, that he was supervising the 4K restoration with Ned Price at Warner Brothers, so nobody knew what was going on, and there was a lot of things happening, and rightfully so. Fans of Kubrick, fans of film, were getting very skeptical over this whole thing. All you had to do was take a look at hometheaterforum.com to see what concerns were that people had. But I guess we didn't need to be concerned at all. A lot of our fears have been unfounded. Here it is. 2001 A Space Odyssey. The new 4K UHD Blu Ray disc and standard high definition Blu Ray disc as well. The standard high definition Blu Ray disc has the new 4K master, so if you don't have a 4K UHD player, don't worry. The Blu Ray has the new 4K master. And let me just tell you, we fans of Kubrick in 2001 A Space Odyssey, us cinephiles, we have a reason to be happy. This is the version on home video that we have waited for. And as I've said in my previous video, I own this pan and scan MGM UA 1980 VHS. I owned a deluxe letterbox edition on VHS that came out in 1991. I owned the 25th anniversary letterbox edition on VHS that came out in 1993. Owned the 1999 DVD, the 2007 Blu Ray, and now this. This is the way it should have looked. All the people who were fearing Christopher Nolan's involvement, rest assured, that wasn't the case. This was always going to be a digital restoration, I have found out. It was actually done by Ned Price and Leon Vitali, Kubrick's longtime assistant, supervising, using the original 65mm camera negative and the dupe negatives for the special effects sequences. It was done at 8K and then down-resed to 4K, from what I've read. DigitalBits.com has a great review of this, and Blu-ray.com as well has a great review of this as well. So for the first time, we're getting it from the original 65mm or 70mm, if you want to call it that, negative. And it is beautiful. I can't say I was surprised, but considering the controversy and the doublespeak that was happening, I am definitely shocked, and I am very happy to report, again, this is the definitive edition of 2001 A Space Odyssey. Some of the concerns that we had and that I had, especially based on the trailers that were going on out there, the trailers had a definite push towards teal in the color timing. And the blacks were slightly raised to almost a gray level. And of course, the whites, like I said, because the push to teal, they were sort of off-white, sort of going on a beige. Not the case here. The whites are white, the blacks are black, just slightly lighter than the letterboxed bars at the top and bottom, but not too much. The blacks are black. They are not raised or not crushed the way Kubrick wanted it. The blacks were supposed to be black, the whites were supposed to be white. The color, and on the 4K, it's Dolby Vision. Such a wide range of color. Finally, those so-called futuristic sofas that were in the space station, which kind of look tacky now, but you know, that's what we thought of. I guess that's what they thought futuristic furniture was going to look like. They look more crimson now. They look strikingly red. And again, the Blu-ray itself, if you just watch the regular Blu-ray, if you don't own a 4K UHD system, get rid of the old Blu-ray. And that was scanned from a 35mm inner positive, a 35mm reduction print of the 70. This is going back to the original 70 or 65mm negative. Skin tones are accurate. Everything about this is just a tremendous visual experience. Why did they have to do this controversy to begin with? Now, I liked seeing the unrestored edition in the movie theaters. Like I said, I never saw it on the big screen the way it was meant to be seen. So seeing the Stargate sequence, the famous Stargate sequence up close on the screen was an experience. But here, the colors, the journey during that sequence just pops out at you. Now, the sound. 2 soundtracks on this one. A restored version of the remix 1999 5.1 surround mix and the original 1968 mix adapted for 5.1. I played both, A-B'd them. I like the 1968 mix. I haven't heard it this way. I would say it's a bit hard to take on a lot of the upper range. Upper range, sometimes it tends to distort a bit. I'm chalking that up to age, possibly. But it was great. But the 1999 5.1 remix that they did, I like that one. And for those that feared directional dialogue, for those that don't know, if a film that was done in stereo back then, you had a lot of directional dialogue. If somebody was standing on the right side, the dialogue would be coming from this side of the screen, this side of the screen. Sometimes they manually panned it back and forth. The 1999 remix has the directional dialogue and effects as well. So there's nothing to worry. It's not coming dead center like a lot of dialogue is nowadays. It's still directional. But both soundtracks are perfectly fine. Great audio experience as well as a visual experience. Special features are the same special features that were on the 2007 Blu-ray and DVD, so those carried over. I was hoping that they would have had enough time to do the special 2001 documentary that they were working on that had some of the deleted scenes that Kubrick never put in any print. But let me just say it again. This is a gem. Every cinephile should own this. Now, a word about my equipment. I don't have fancy equipment. I don't have a massive projector and a 75-inch television and all this stuff. I don't have a Dolby Atmos surround system, which I would totally love. But this is what I do have, and this is what I watched on. We have a Hisense 50-inch 4K UHD television in our living room, and I have a Sony 4K UHD Blu-ray player as well. The surround sound system is a Logitech THX surround sound system. Not fancy, but good for our budget. And the good thing about DTS Master Audio and Dolby True HD and Dolby Atmos and DTS-X, they are compatible with the Logitech system. So that's what I watched it on, and it was just incredible watching it. I watched the 4K UHD and then I scanned through the actual Blu-ray. The Blu-ray's fine. The 4K Master holds up very well on Blu-ray as well, and being the fact that I put it in my 4K UHD player, it automatically was up-resing it as well. But the 4K, that is a treat. That is a treat. So if you don't own a 4K UHD player, this would be a great reason to go out and get one, because this is truly a treat. I saw details in there that I hadn't seen before. Words that are in the background, like on menus and stuff like that, like in the space station. I was able to read the beverages, which I didn't see before. 2001, A Space Odyssey, 50th Anniversary Edition, new 4K transfer on 4K UHD Blu-ray and standard high definition Blu-ray. Must have. Get this. Now, just so you know, if you go to Amazon right now, a lot of confusion. There have been reproduction issues with this. So the new official release date for this, if you haven't pre-ordered it, is November 20th. And on the actual 4K link on Amazon, there's no release date at all, but you could pre-order it. This was supposed to come out October 30th. I got this on Sunday, so a day early from the original release date. But it looks like what's happening is if you have it pre-ordered, as soon as they get stock in, they're issuing it out, which is a good thing. So a lot of us got it early. Some don't have it yet already, so I feel sorry for them. But once you get it, you're in for a reward. you're in for a really good treat. Stanley Kubrick, a master, 2001: A Space Odyssey, finally represented right. I am happy. This is going to be the catalog title to beat this year, in my humble opinion. Thank you so much. That's my take on this. 2001: A Space Odyssey, new 4K transfer on 4K UHD Blu-ray and standard high-definition Blu-ray. Thank you so much for watching. Leave me some comments, and until we meet again.